We can say whatever we want. All right. And then I'll start us off here. Okay. Clients.
Yep.
Well, Shahada, tell us about, let's move on to your virtual classes and everything you got going on. You know, you've got your yoga, Pilates, everything you've experienced, and your dance you've put into the kind of the mix. Explain some of the types of classes, the names, just see what our audience thinks.
Once I developed the Habibi body technique. That's what I call it. And it is center out movement. So we discuss how spinal strength and flexibility is really the most important thing, because it allows you to expand and balance for really long periods of time and become really, really flexible and really understand what is happening with your body at the time that it's happening, so that you can make the best decision about where to move next. My technique follows the natural lines of the body. So in that technique, I teach a restorative class. Mm-hmm. I teach a blend. Habibi body is the blend. That is yoga, Pilates, and ballet. Okay. I teach a HIIT class, and I teach a full-on yoga class. So we call it balancing movement. So we stretch and balance at the same time. It sounds impossible until you learn how to do it. But we do a lot of one-legged stretches where we are constantly on one leg for a duration of about 10 minutes each. But you can do that once you become very aware of what's happening in your body. You can stay on that one leg very easily because you've relaxed into it instead of trying to power through it, and you can stretch the other parts of your body at the same time. So that's one of my favorite classes. I teach that actually in person and virtually on Mondays. That one's a lot of fun because it really helps clients and students gauge how far they've come. It takes a long time to get there. And when they get there, when they can hold that balance, when they can hold that stretch, they're like, oh my God, I'm still here. That's one of my favorite things. But we also teach a HIIT class, high intensity, high impact, high intensity movement. Habibi body is that combination that really teaches you how to make your body lean and strong and flexible. Mm-hmm. Everything that we do can be done with body weight, but we can also add ankle weights and resistance bands and hand weights if the client wants. If a customer or a student or a client wants to kind of up the ante, and you'll find that the men always want to up the ante because they're like, why am I just moving my arms? Like, why can't I pick up a weight? Okay, then pick up a weight if that makes you feel better.
Yeah. And they'll drop it 5 minutes later.
Right. One of my favorite things when I would teach a class, when we were all brick and mortar prior to the pandemic, was to go to my students who had 25-pound dumbbells and put a pair of 10 pounds in front of them. And just as they would protest, I would say, just in case you need it.
Yeah, and they always dropped and picked it up.
Right, but then they put that down and pick up 5 pounds because we're holding our arms out for a really long time, and all of a sudden, that 5-pound weight is looking really attractive right now. So those are the 4 formats. They are taught virtually, and I teach private and semi-private classes. We still keep everything in person, very, very small, out of respect, not only for the pandemic, but just the environment. Yeah. I just haven't taught a really large class in at least 2 years, and it's been very comfortable. I have a nice, steady roster of clients who like to feel comfortable in that space. They all know each other, and they kind of know what they're getting. To go online and do it, we have a membership tier set up, and then people can do pre-recorded classes, or they can train live with me.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. We do a live stream every week, every Sunday morning at 8:15 a.m. We do a live stream of Habibi Body, and we do pre-recorded classes for members, or you can train virtually with me, and it doesn't matter what you need. Whatever you need is what we do. So I always tell people, if you don't feel comfortable with Habibi Body, if you don't want to do the classes, because the classes they operate very much like a physical class where you are in a group, and if I see you, I'll correct you, but I correct you on the fly. Yeah. So it's not one-on-one. It's if I see something, I correct it, and then we move on to the next thing. Or I'll tell you to take an adjustment or take a modification, and we'll do that very quickly. But because we're in a class setting, we move on to the next thing. Everybody's not comfortable in the class setting. So I always tell people, if you want to do one-on-ones with me, you can do that. And with one-on-ones in particular, when we spoke about really meeting people where they are, I will 100% meet you where you are. It doesn't matter what's going on with your body. We will figure it out. So in my trainings and in not only learning, but teaching, one of the things that I also found that worked very well for me and worked very well for my clientele was a focus on bodies that are not traditionally able. So I work with a lot of cancer survivors. I work with people who have not only chronic injuries, but are recovering from something traumatic, where maybe their legs or their arms or any part of their body is not working the same way it was working prior to whatever happened. So we do a lot of rehabilitative work, which is really where the movement therapy comes in. Movement therapy is less occupied with the aesthetic and with, I just want to lose 20 pounds or I want to have a flat stomach or whatever. We throw all of that out the window. The most important thing in movement therapy is that you feel good.
Yeah. It almost sounds beneficial for people if they're just kind of starting out too, to do the privates with you. Yeah, knowing that you don't have to do it forever, but just to get a better startup, making sure all your form is perfect before you're let into the wild in one of the live classes. Where you're still correcting, but it's
that.
Yeah.
And we also have free videos both on the website and on YouTube that give you an idea of what you're in for. They are fundamentals classes.
Yeah.
They're between 5 and 15 minutes, and they teach you how to hold a plank, how to do belly down core, what we're looking for in a side core engagement, what we're looking for in a balancing engagement. They're great little tools. And even if you've done it before and you've been with me for a while, it's a good thing to go back to kind of look at and say, oh yeah, I should be lifting up out of this hip. I should be engaging this side of my obliques. I should be breathing this way. We even do breath work where I'll teach you how to breathe into one lung at a time, based on where we are, because maybe you need to make more space on that side of your body. So I'll tell you, puff up that side of your body so that you can make that space and you can really compress the opposite side of your body. All of those things are in the fundamentals videos, and it's a great way for people to kind of decide. It's also a great way for them to decide whether or not this is something that they're interested in. Yeah. All movement is not for everybody, and my way may not be, for a particular student. So I always recommend, if they're interested, to go look at the videos. And if it's something that you like, my DMs are wide open. I respond to every Instagram DM. I'll ask me anything. If you have any questions, we talk to people all over the country. I have clients all over the country who train with me virtually because it's more convenient for them. And again, virtual training takes you out of the class setting. A lot of people are very comfortable just one-on-one so that they don't feel pressured to try to keep up with the rest of the class.
Yeah, no, that's great. So Shahada, for our listeners who are resonating and want to try this out, what are the best methods to get a hold of you? Instagram, a website? You were just mentioning your email.
Both the website and Instagram are a really easy way to get a hold of me because the messages are instant. I always tell people, if I don't respond to your DMs, it's either I'm not on Instagram at that particular moment or I'm asleep.
And that's Habibi Sport or Habibi Sport Yoga?
The best Instagram, you can get a hold of me at habibibody.com. That's the website. The Instagram is habibibody Sport. And my personal Instagram is Shahada Karim. That is really the fastest way to get a hold of me. It's just my name, Shahada Karim. Hit me up in a DM. I will respond to you. I do consults. Like I said, you can ask me anything. I don't really, I don't believe in stupid questions. Because sometimes people just don't know. And sometimes people are curious and they don't know where to start. So you can ask me whatever you need to ask me. Like I said, I work with a lot of bodies that are not traditionally able. So they can't automatically put themselves in poses or learn how to do things the way a normal able body with no injuries would know how to do. I work with people with shattered spines. I have a client that had shattered hips. She had to get her hips completely rebuilt. People who have knee replacements and hip replacements, and like I said, cancer survivors, that's my base. So if that's something that you think, I would really like to learn how to move my body without pain, I would like to feel better, please hit me up. If you want to drop 20 pounds, hit me up.
Do it all.
However, I meet you where you are. It really depends on what you need. I don't like to make guarantees and say, if you do this thing, this will happen. First, I got to see you.
Yeah.
I got to talk to you. First, we got to know what's in your kitchen. You know that story. I got to know what you're putting in your body and what you're doing with your body on a regular basis and what you want to be putting in your body and what you want to be doing with your body moving forward. And that's how we build a plan.
That's great. And then also, all my listeners know I'll put all your links in the podcast description. They can just click on it, and hit you up on all those forums.
Perfect.
But thank you, Shahada, for being on our show. I really appreciate it. Learned a lot and can't wait to try one of these sessions out myself. So
yes, please come on through.
Well, thank you once again.
Welcome. Thank you.